over the course of the past 2 weeks or so, there was a large rock instability that developed above the glacier. So there's a mountain, and rock started falling off the mountain and depositing on the glacier. And then over the course of the past few days, we saw this glacier under the weight of this rock starting to accelerate. So it started to flow more quickly down towards the valley. And ultimately, what happened yesterday, while we don't know precisely what the chain of events was in the last hour to minutes before it all kind of crashed down into the valley, ultimately, the ice of the glacier and the large amount of rock that had been deposited on top of the glacier came crashing down. In this case, we don't fully know yet what the dimensions are, and that will only become clear over the course of the next few days as, the maps are being made and the pictures taken and so forth. But it's absolutely large, and, the images are just utterly devastating that we see of the valley. So we don't know for sure whether climate change was the main driver of this event, because we would need to know for certain whether this event would have happened in a reality that doesn't have any climate change, and we don't have that parallel reality really. And what we know is that climate change at high elevations is not favorable for rock slope stability. So with increasing temperatures, more water available through ice and snow melt, maybe precipitation falling even at high elevations more often as rain than as snow. So those are factors that are not beneficial to mountain stability. With climate change certainly being some driver in big changes that we're seeing in the mountains, or maybe the main driver that we see behind changes in the mountains, even if we can't say for sure that it caused this particular event, then the only thing we can do at that level is really try to minimize the global warming, and that means reducing greenhouse gases. It's certainly a really, really rare event, and kind of a sequence of really unfortunate coincidences, if you want, with the rock face right above this glacier, and then the glacier being, or kind of that valley being so in line with the town underneath. Um, I don't expect that we'll see anything like this, anytime soon. Yes, it can happen again. It's rock falling onto a glacier. We have lots of rock. We have quite a few glaciers, so it's not impossible. But I think what you see is just something that, like, on paper you knew could happen, but then when you see it, it just takes your breath away, because it's just not possible really to imagine it beforehand. And then the images are just really, really shocking. And my heart's with the local population and emergency responders who are dealing with this absolutely mind-blowing situation on site.